Hi everybody. Every month I do a personal curriculum and I wanted to go through and tell you about what topics I was learning about in March. I started off the month by just reading two non-fiction books. There were no topics of learning or anything associated with it. I just found these were actually recommended to me and I just wanted to read them. The first one is A Mother's Reckoning, Living in the Aftermath of Tragedy by Sue Klebold. Sue Klebold is the mother of one of the Columbine shooters, Dylan Klebold, and this story was just about her journey facing up to the truth of what her son did by killing all those fellow students and a teacher. And what was so interesting about this book was learning about, for me, I think like a lot of people possibly, when you hear about these tragedies happen and you hear that these kids have all these issues, and you sort of wonder how the parents could not have realized what was going on. And this book really helped me understand about exactly what was going on, about how well her son hid his murderous tendencies and his depression and all the issues that he had. He hid them from everybody, parents, friends, school counsellors, everything. So yeah, it really helped open my eyes as far as not being judgmental of the parents of these kids who commit these heinous crimes. So that was a great read. And the next non-fiction book I started reading was 5 Days at Memorial by Sherry Fink. This was about life and death in a storm-ravaged hospital during Hurricane Katrina. And I found this book quite shocking, actually. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was not expecting to learn that some of the nurses and doctors actually euthanized some of the patients in the hospital. Yeah, was not expecting that. So I'm about this way through. It's quite a chunky book, but yes, was not expecting that. So yeah, I will continue reading that this next month. And sorry about the horrible light. I'm currently filming this in my car because I'm currently in a backpackers. And it's full of people and it's just not quiet enough to do it. So then on to the more formal topics of learning. This is the journal that I'm currently using. It's called Remember to Take a Risk or You'll Lose the Chance. That's got an ocean theme, which is perfect for what I'm doing at the moment. Okay, in continuation of my myths and legends of giants topics, so all the giants throughout all the different civilizations that come up in the myths and legends around the world of the different cultures, I read this book, Navigating the Stars, Maori Creation Myths, and here I learned about, we didn't have so much as, they didn't call them giants, they called them ogres. So ogres in Māori myths. So this was fascinating. Again, this was a chunky read as well. I have finished it. I've just got to photocopy some pages there. So that was very interesting. And also interesting to read about the creation myths of the Māori people as well. Yes, if you're interested in that sort of thing, this is a great book to read. And this was written not in a dry sort of non-fictiony way. It was written as a fictional story with all the gods and the characters. So it was a really easy, entertaining read. Okay. I also wanted to learn more about manifestation. But I thought I'd start with the basics, which in my mind is using positive affirmations to help heal your life. So I started reading this book. This book I have had for many years. I've read it many a time. It has fallen apart, but it's full of, I've written and highlighted pages, and I thought about buying a new one, but I quite like this one, even though it is falling apart, because it's well loved, well used. Okay, the goal of this was, where am I up to? So I start with the basics, using positive affirmations to help heal my life. The goal being to start using affirmations to change my mindset about my physical health. And I started saying affirmations each morning and when I thought about my health condition. So this book details the power of your mind and your thoughts and your feelings, and how you can use those to create affirmations to use to change your mindset, and that will all help in a manifestation. So excuse the book falling apart. So this some of the topics in here is physical health, prosperity, healing body illness, helping healing that, and then it's got all of the different illnesses and conditions, and some of the affirmations you can say relating to them. So I've started using them. At the moment I'm just focusing on physical health conditions, and then I'll just work my way through the rest of the book slowly. But I'm in no rush with this. I mean, I could read this in 2 days, but I'm taking it slowly and surely. Okay, still related to that subject, I started reading this book. Whoops, sorry about the glare. It's called Laziness Does Not Exist by Devon Price, PhD. Okay, I also started learning about how seeking constant achievement can cause burnout. And this book is about the mechanisms behind why I and many people constantly push ourselves past the brink physically and mentally. And the goal of reading this is to learn the processes behind why I do this and to learn ways of changing this behaviour. So I've only just started this book, haven't got very far, but I will continue reading this next month in April. I also started reading the ebook Quit, The Power of Knowing When to Walk Away by Annie Duke. This book is about why we continue on trajectories of life when all the evidence point to the plan not working out, yet we stubbornly refuse to give up anyway. And the final book I started reading was called The Explorer's Gene, Why We Seek Big Challenges, New Flavours and Blank Spots on the Map. And in mid-March I embarked on my slow travel around the country, and I wanted to learn why we seek out travel adventures and what drives this behaviour. And this is obviously the journal I'm writing. I'm documenting all my basically daily life and all my travel adventures as well. And then field trips that I went on. The first one I went on was to Waipu Caves, and I saw the glowworms and learned all about them and how they glow and about their life cycle and everything. And I also learned about the Maori myths associated with the creation of glowworms and how they helped, and how Maori people used glowworms in the past. And I also learned about how stalagmites and stalactites were formed. And I also went to everything's on a weird lean in the car. I went to the Hundredwasser, excuse my butchering of that word, of that name, the Hundredwasser Art Centre. Hundredwasser is an Austrian artist and architect, and I learned about his artistic philosophy and saw his paintings. This was really interesting. Here he is here. He was certainly a character, and I'm going to be visiting a few more of his architectural buildings that he designed on my travels up north. So that was that. So yes, that is what I have achieved in March, and I will be back shortly letting you know what my curriculum is for the month of April.